All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to another Tech Talk, our second for the year. This week we're talking again about AI. I did one last fortnight, which was how to link AI to your CRM using Zapier and other third-party integrators. Probably got it the wrong way around. I probably should have done this one first. In the start of the year, probably not thinking right. So today we're going to talk about custom GPTs, how you can sort of create your own custom GPT, how you can sort of train your custom GPT so it can fill a function. And then we're also going to talk about the inbuilt sort of agents that are within HubSpot. And I'm going to show you how to set up your own customer service agent in HubSpot. So hopefully out of this, you'll get some actionable tasks and insights that you can then use within your business. This is a basic level intro to both custom GPTs and into the custom agent. Like with anything with AI, you could spend quite a lot of time on it, and to get it right, you do need to put in a bit more effort than a 30-minute session. But we'll go through that, and then at the end, you'll have any questions you want to ask about AI or about HubSpot or any sort of tech. Unfortunately, Nat couldn't be here today, who is the proper AI guru, but I'm filling in her place as more of a HubSpot guru. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to keep it pretty interactive. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to just jump through number one in the first instance, how sort of a custom GPT works, what it is, and how you can use it. So what I'll do is I'll just share my screen, and then we'll get into it. Alrighty, so ChatGPT, I'm sure most people here have a ChatGPT account of some version. There's obviously quite a few different platforms that we speak about in these tech talks. We've got Custom GPT. Claude is another big one I use, and you can do similar things where you can create agents in Claude as well. But we use ChatGPT because it is the OG AI version. So what is a custom GPT? Basically, it's just a trained agent that you can prompt and engineer to fulfill a certain task. You can do that through your own instructions. You can do that through uploading documents and uploading resources to give it a range of education, what you want to achieve. But with everything when it comes to AI, number one, first off, you want to identify what you want to do and what you want to achieve. That's where it all starts. And the great thing about this is you can use AI to help you to get to that point. And what I mean by that is, in this instance, I'm going to create a custom GPT that will create a 6-month content plan for you. And what we've done, I won't go this far, but then we use that content plan for another custom GPT to help create content. And we train it in that way so it can sort of understand your brand voice, understand, a range of different things. As I said, I won't be able to go into that in detail today because I just won't have enough time. But we'll just go through the basic steps that anyone here will be able to do. Probably the only thing that might hold you back is to access custom GPTs, you do need the paid plan of ChatGPT, which is only, I think, $30 a month. So it's not out of reach, but it is something just to be aware of. You do need to go up. I think it's Pro. Can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's the next tier up. So in terms of first steps, so I've said I want to create a custom GPT that will help me create a 6-month content plan. So what do I do? First off, I might be a bit unsure what that even looks like. So I can use ChatGPT to help me create that framework. So I could just say, I want to create custom GPT that can create a 6-month content plan. Can you provide the framework? Yes. And the great thing about ChatGPT is if you can't spell, it doesn't matter because it still understands what it is that you want to do. So in this instance, it's created it, and it's got little emojis there, which is sometimes annoying, but it still does that. So what this does is it goes through and it just gives me some information that I can then potentially use to create the custom GPT. Now, number one, like with anything, we can't just take this as gospel. This may not be the best way. What I often would do as well is I might go find some resources that I think are really good and I could post them into this and say, hey, look, I like what you've done, but can you please adjust based off these resources? A quick Google search will find that. And that'll make it really, really simple. So just keep that in mind. From there, I'm also going to ask it, what questions and inputs I'm going to need to put in, because obviously to create a content plan, we can't just ask it to create a content plan for my business without understanding what my business is going to do. Please create questions I need to ask to create a detailed content plan. And so just from there, it's doing all the work for me. This is why, we love AI at the moment. It does make things quite easy. So it's given us, business audience insights, content goals and strategy, content pillars and themes, a range of different things here. I have already created a more simple version, but again, looking at this looks pretty awesome. And I haven't really done any effort other than typing in a sentence. And already I've got a framework and I've got the questions I need to ask to get that going. So again, like I said, this is like a really quick example. You probably try to go to a lot more effort to get to this point. Really consider the framework, review it. This would be something potentially you're going to use quite a lot in the future to make sure that you've got your plan there. So what I'd do is I'd copy and paste this stuff. I've already got it on another sheet, or the basic examples of what I want to ask on another Word doc, so I don't need to worry about copying and paste it. And then from there, I just simply go up into my little name and I go to my GPTs. So I've got a couple here that are already some examples. Quite simply, I just click create a GPT. And what it does is it takes you into another page where you've got the option to create, and you can talk through it and do similar sort of stuff to what I was doing before. Or if you're pretty confident, you can just go straight to configure and add it in here, but I'm just going to go through the process. So what would you like to make? So in this instance, I'm just going to copy and paste. Create a structured 6-month content plans with competitor analysis, posting and schedule. So again, I'll probably try to prompt it with a bit more information, but as you can see there, it's doing its little thinking, and straight away it said, yeah, great. Now let's pick a name, which is obviously always the most important, content strategy planner or whatever you want to call it, and you can come back and change it later. So I might say, give me more ideas. And again, it's doing the thinking for you. So I might just go with content strategy planner because that one's pretty good. And again, the best way to interact with this is to be conversational. Don't treat it like a robot. Don't treat it like, anything. Treat it like a human, because that's how that'll work. And then I'll do a little profile pic, which is always pretty cool. Like that, please. Color, and have a content, hero in the image. So again, you can just prompt from there, and then it's going to generate once it thinks about it for a little bit. Cool, that'll do for this example. And again, it's walking you through how to create this, so you don't have to worry. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to give it some further instructions. So at the moment, as you can see in the configure tab, it's put down instructions there based off this, but I want to give it more than that. I want to give it a bit more info because, I want to make sure I get the most out of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and paste another bit of text, which I've done previously through prompting with GPT. Can you please update the instructions to the following? Oops. Then it's going to say, yep, cool. What changes do you want to make? And I'm just going to post that in there. So it's basically just a bit more information, some of the questions that we want to ask, so that when it goes through, it's going to do it. And then it's going to think, I've updated the instructions. Let me know if you have any further requirements. Now I'm just going to, so the other good thing is you can upload documents here. So you can upload some of the existing content, examples of what works well for a good content plan, you know, you can do a range of different things. So I'm going to go, please upload the following template of the questions you are going to ask to create a content plan. Please follow these instructions and templates for every time you create. And so just simply, I'm just going to upload content plan template. And then it's just going to have a look at it. It's going to analyze it. Perfect. And now I'm going to upload some examples of a good content plan. Oops. Oops. Some little. I also want to upload some examples of a excellent content plan I want you to use when creating. So I'll just do that. And again, we're just prompting it through. We're just going through, setting it up, creating what we want to do. And obviously, the more that we can add into it, the more documents and files, the better. Again, it's just sort of a quick example to sort of show you how it can work. So I've uploaded that. And it's just going to think about it. So thanks. And then I'm just going to give it some further instructions. Please make sure you ask all questions one at a time, prompting and confirming as you go. Then that'll be done there. Updated. So now I can just go to configure and I can see I've got the name, I've got the description, I've got the instructions, I've got my conversation starters as well. What you can do is you can edit this to be a bit more descriptive. So I could say, please use the content plan template to ask the correct questions to create a 6-month content plan. And so you can see now that we've pretty much created our own custom GPT. Now, there's obviously a lot more to it than what we need to do. And the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. And quite simply, I just click create. Now, I can share it. I can have anyone with the link so other people can access it. Or I can just have only me. Or I can even put it in the GPT store. Now, hit save. And once it saves, we'll be able to see our content plan.
Is there a max of how many custom ones you can make if you've got the paid account?
I believe it's 50, but I might need to double check that for you, Hayley.
Yeah, that's a lot more than I'd need, so that's cool.
Yeah. All right, so now I'll just go back and I've got my content strategy planner and I'm just going to open it up. And we'll just have a little look. Please use my content plan. I didn't say template there, I didn't say it right, but hopefully it picks it up. But ask the 10 questions one at a time. To save time, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in my website and just say, please answer all questions based on what you find from my website. And you can even put in prompts to say, hey, look, if they've got a website, do it that way. And this may work, we'll see. Cool. So what it's doing is it's basically just grabbing and answering everything from our website. Now, what I could do now is, I could go through and answer everything and put in more detail. For this, I won't. But obviously, the more detail you put into it, the better. Perfect. Please create my 6-month content plan. Make sure you follow the example. And this is something I found you do need to really tell it to do stuff sometimes, especially at the start. quite often it might spit out the content plan, and when you first create it, it might miss some things. So it just requires making sure you prompt it correctly, you put in the right templates, and you have all the information there. All right, and so now it's just spat out a 6-month content plan for me. So basically, business overview, target audience, competitor insights, competitive strengths and weaknesses. What I've done in some other ones is you can put in like the actual competitors' website addresses, and it will identify specifics about what you can target. Strategy, monthly campaign ideas. As you can see here, we've got 6-month campaign, posting schedule, performance metric, budget, and review plan. So you can see there, that's something we've just created in less than 10 minutes. Obviously, we'd want to put a bit more effort into it, but in terms of a demo, that's something that you can do. And then you can access this. You'll see on the left, when you're in GPT, you'll have these here that you can jump into. And it's just designed to be something that's specifically trained for a certain function. You can do this for a range of different things, whether it be, analysis of competitors. It could be to do with doing certain tasks. You've got a lot of options there that you can manage. If you have any questions just about setting up a custom GPT? Awesome. So what I might do then is I might go and show you what HubSpot's been doing around creating their own, AI platforms as well. So I'll just stop the screen. This feature at the moment is in beta. What you'll see within HubSpot, and I've definitely touched on this before in some of the other tech talks for those using HubSpot, for those that aren't, there are similar features and similar AI agents out there. But HubSpot's Breeze is basically its AI platform that's linked and connected via the OpenAI API. They've got a few different features: Copilot, agents, intelligence. I think I've done some presentations on them previously. But with the browse agents, we've got a content agent, a social agent, prospecting agent, and a content agent. But we're going to focus just purely on the customer agent for this instance. So what is it? It's basically a customer service agent that you can train, again, utilizing specific resources that you may have. So in this instance, what we've got is just a homepage, which isn't too much. But again, what this does is it sort of just sets the framework in a probably more efficient manner than the GPT section did. So what I've got here is I've got content. And what I've already done is I've already preloaded this with a range of different bits of content. So number one, I've got my knowledge base within HubSpot, which has a range of different articles about HubSpot. Those articles are written by me and my team, and they're all, trust the process resources. I've linked our website and I've linked our landing pages as well. So literally to do that, we just come in and we can just link them. But what I've also done is, because I'm trying to make a GPT custom agent that, can answer any HubSpot related questions, I've also imported some URLs based off some HubSpot resources. And, you can add more to that as well as you go along. So what we then need to do within HubSpot is basically we go to the automation section and we go to chat flows. Now, what we do is we actually create a chat flow, because where this will sit is it will sit on a website page. And basically the way to work is when people go to a website page, just like most people have chats, instead of it being a bot, it'll be AI. And so you can communicate with them there. So to be able to do this, we just simply go create chat flow. I'm going to pick it for the website, and then we just pick the channel and the language. And then I just pick which chat flow. So super easy to do. In this one, I'm just going to pick customer agent. I'm going to go create, and there we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow it to access my knowledge base, just so that it can access those resources. Put our welcome message, so we can change that if you like. We've got automatically assigned conversations. So if we need to, we can reassign it to someone else. Say, for example, if the AI agent can't answer some questions, and it'll ask to capture the email as well. That's pretty much, you've got it set up. Now, what you need to do is then you need to go and set where you want it to be. So in this instance, I've got a customer service page. And so I'm just going to say I want it on that page. Now you could put it to all pages. You could put it to a range of different things. And then you can select, when it's visited and who sees it. So you have a lot of control around who gets to see this agent. If you don't want certain segments to see it for whatever reason, you can modify it and do it in that. Now the display, you can choose an avatar, you can choose a name for the avatar. It's already picked up the avatar for the customer agent I have, and chat behavior. You can see when it's visible. We've got some options just around data and security, but that's all fairly straightforward stuff. Now, once we've got that set up, we can make that go live, and then we simply go back to our customer agent section and we just go to channels. And what we do is we turn on the customer agent. So I've already turned on a different one just in case while I'm demoing I do something wrong and it doesn't work and I get embarrassed, which happens often in demos. But what I've got here is I've just got the customer agent set up, and what we've got is on my customer service page, I can see my AI agent that's there and popped up Van. So you can see here, powered by AI. Zoom in a little bit. Oops, too much. All right, that'll do. Hi, please tell me how to create a deal. Probably should set in HubSpot. But basically what I've created here is I've just created a way that customers can come and answer their own questions without having to rely on me. So what is a custom object in HubSpot? So it's grabbing that information from our knowledge base, from all the information that we've uploaded, and it's chucked it in and it's answering these questions. Now, if for whatever reason I can't answer a question, there are some specific things that don't always work. But what this has done is it's created an agent here that hopefully can remove some of the need for them to go and submit a ticket, or remove the need for them to give you a call. Now, obviously, some people aren't going to adopt this. They aren't going to jump in and straight away want to go to that level. But what it does is it just gives you that outlet. And obviously, the more that you train it, the more that, and the more resources you put into it. And by that, I mean, back in adding in the content and having a really strong knowledge base, then you should be able to, have a pretty solid product. As you can see here, you can also have some short answers. So if you're getting questions that are getting asked a lot that maybe you don't have an answer to, you can come in and manually enter them in here as well. Now, just like with anything within HubSpot, it's got a performance tab. So this is only a new agent that we've created, but you can see here, we've got some data points. So you can see knowledge gaps, new. So I can see here, this was a question I asked this morning just about subscription details. And these are the questions that people couldn't answer. So, or sorry, that the AI couldn't answer. So I can track that, and I could see, even though I have uploaded the HubSpot pricing page to my agent, for whatever reason, it couldn't pick it up. It might have been too complicated. I don't know. It's still AI. What I could do is I could go in and I could answer these questions with these short answers to fill those gaps. And the great thing is you're just continually improving, continually modifying. The configure section, so I've just called it Agent Van. That's just a shout out to Van, who was originally with the team and did a lot of effort and did a lot of hard work to get us where we are today, but moved to America. I'm not working with us anymore. But you can create whatever you want. You can set the roles, you can set personalities as well, professional, casual, pathetic. So you got a lot of little things you can play around with. And I suppose the difference between this and the custom GPT is, number one, is inbuilt into a CRM, allows you to integrate it directly to your website. With the custom GPTs, you can do some of that stuff. It is a little bit more hard than doing it this way, just because the integrations aren't widely available. You can't just click a button and do it at this stage. At the moment, it still requires a custom API connection, and even that's pretty fiddly. So that's something, just to be aware of, that as you move forward with that this is a really good option. All right, that's pretty much what I wanted to go over today. Do you have any questions about, the customer agent, of how to do it, or any issues or anything like that? Caitlin, was that a question? Sorry.
Yeah. So if I have two chat flows in HubSpot, kind of one facing leads maybe from our website and then one from our web portal where they're already logged in and they're already customers, do you know if I'm able to have the agent be on each chat flow? I have certain requirements or like things that I want them to answer before they come to us. And I don't know if I can have the agent be involved in that chat flow or what the limitations are there.
Yeah, you can definitely set it up, and there's a section where you can then also go and route the conversation to someone else. So for example, the agent would be the first step, and then if they can't answer something, they can direct it to a live chat. Using the settings on the page where you can set it, you can direct where it goes, and you can create multiple chat flows on different pages. So we've got 3 or 4 different chat flows going at the moment, and you can set that up just on the just back on the display, on the target page where you want it to be. So you can definitely manage it that way. And then when you automatically assign conversations, if the AI can't answer, you can assign to a specific user, so it'll pass it to them and move it on that way.
Okay. So on those, if you had 2 different chat flows, you can assign it first to the customer agent, like the different chat flows, assign it to each of those and then have it flow differently too.
Yeah, you can definitely control it that way. If you just want it to be the agent first and then pass to someone, you can do it that way. It still is more designed, as you can see from here, like the AI agent will answer it all, and so it's more, in this sense, it's probably more for like in this example, it's definitely more for like existing clients rather than rather than lead capture, because of the fact that it's not necessarily straight away asking for their email address and things like that. You can integrate options around that to do that as well. Again, that just requires a bit more of a complicated link. Not complicated, but when you get to it within your within your like chat flow, you can actually go in and create sort of live agents and do things like that. And there are ways to integrate like GPT into that, but again, it's a bit more fiddly. So in terms of this, like what you might be better off doing is creating a customer agent for service support and potentially a live agent for the other side.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Yes, Stephen, this has been recorded and it'll be up on our YouTube channel, which I can chuck on the I'll chuck in the chat as well. I see Lynette had a question or had a hand up.
Yeah, I was just I've just opened up the chat actually. I mean, I should put it in the chat. I was just wondering about the template that you used. Are you able to share that, or you may have already shared it?
Yeah, the template for the custom GPT or the template for
the content planner template that you uploaded, and I thought, oh, it'd be really good to have a look at that and see if I can follow the instructions and get it done.
Yeah. So the template was just more about the questions it's going to ask. So I can send that to you after, if you chuck your email just in the chat, just so that you can have a look at it. I'll send in the example one that I've created. I'll also send the template that we've used, and again, that was just sort of structured from ChatGPT that you can play around with.
Thank you. I'll put my camera on, but it's not working at the moment for some reason. Thank you.
Oh, no issues at all. So yeah, any other questions about anything to do with HubSpot or to do with?
I was to choose that more fiddly route, I think you just talked when you're answering Caitlin's question. Would it be possible if a customer is going to go to the chat box and they provide their email, can that link to their profile within HubSpot? And then that way I can actually go to their profile and see the types of questions they're asking. Or, they say, can I update my child's age or uniform size or whatever that looks like? Is that possible, or would they need to come to me for that? For updating him?
Yeah, at this stage, the agent won't automatically update fields. It still is in beta, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that it'll be able to do. But I think Yeah, at this stage, it won't be able to do that, but you will have like records of the conversation so that you can see it. You will be able to track it all and have, because like where it'll go, 1 second. So yeah, where it'll go is you'll be able to access that all and be able to see it. But yeah, I'm just sorry, I was just trying to check to see if it, can update it. But yeah, from what I can see, it can't update those yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that's in the works with the way that HubSpot's working around the AI features that it has.
So when you look at reporting and you see the questions that people are asking, are you able to see an email associated? Like at the end of the conversation, you say, "Can I have an email?" or anything like that? Just so because I can kind of associate with which locations, for like Liverpool at least, who's having the most questions about what.
Yeah, so what I would have probably done is I would have set it up and linked it to the help desk. I didn't do it just because I didn't. But where it's gone is it's gone into your inbox. And as I can see here, what it's done is, like, I didn't give it my email. It knew that I was a customer and it's already linked to me as Matthew Mosley asking the question because it does that. And as you can see over here, it's got my contact record and my deals and, conversations that I've had and everything. And I can see the history. And so like what you can do is you can come in, you can action it, and then you can close the conversation off and then it will disappear. So, you've got the record there. It doesn't, when you close it off, it just goes into a different folder.
Awesome.
But like the history's there so you can track it. So, if someone does come in and ask to do something, then you can do it. But yeah, that is a really good use case though, Haley. So I think I might have a look and see if there's any options around that. But at this stage, I'm not aware that it'll be able to change a property.
Yeah. It might be hard with like privacy, anyone can just say, "I want to change my mate's email and their child's name." So that would be a block, I'd assume.
Yeah, that'd be a blocker, but I wouldn't be surprised if there'll be ways around it. Like it does pick up your pixel and your ID, and that's how it identifies you. But yeah, there could be some privacy considerations, like you said.
Yeah. And can parents see customers, can they see history of their conversations with us or through the AI feature?
No, they reset them, but what they can see is there is another way within HubSpot that they can create tickets.
Yeah.
And so if I create a ticket, this is just through the customer portal. I don't know why it's asking me to log in. Yeah, there you go. It's logged me in automatically. But basically, they'll have a history of all their tickets. So a ticket is different to obviously conversation.
Yeah,
but if they came and they submitted a ticket here, this would come in here, go into your help desk, and then from there you can respond, answer it, track it, have a status. You can see here these are closed. Any ones that are open, you can see it. You can sort of see how long they've been there for.
That's awesome.
Any other questions? Awesome. Cool. Thanks so much, guys. We'll wrap it up there. Like I said, I put the YouTube link in the chat. If you want to jump in, check out some of the previous videos we've done. We'll talk about AI, HubSpot, a range of different things. And other than that, yeah, if you liked, the custom GPTs, have a play around with it. We have just sort of launched, a content package that does help generate your content using AI and GPTs as well. So if anyone's interested in that, feel free to reach out. But other than that, have a great Friday, have a great end to your month, and Tech Talks will be back in a fortnight.
Cool. Thanks, Matt. Have a good weekend.
Thank you.
See you guys.
See ya.